What's happening, Panda Nation? Peter Von Panda here. If you're looking for a light for your P365, check this one out. The P365 has its own proprietary rail right up here. You can see it's kind of cut into the side here. It's not quite a Picatinny, but luckily they make this Foxtrot 365 light for the front end. So I thought not only would we unbox this, put it on, but we'd also check out what 100 lumens will do to a very small compact. Now, first things first, I thought this was actually going to require a knife to open out, but you can just kind of peel away all the pieces here, which is kind of cool. And you can see we've got the light here. We've got a couple of batteries right there, so we'll need those. We also have a tool, looks like, to install this thing, because once you put it on, there's no quick release. You can see it looks like kind of watch batteries, but they're stacked. And then we have a couple of generic Q-tips, and then a very small Allen wrench here, because we're going to have to disassemble this side. See those two little screws there, and then that piece is going to come off. We also have an instruction booklet on how this little bad boy works, but you can see here, first of all, it's very light. It's all like a plastic or a polymer. This clips on, and then it should be flush, but you can see how it tapers down here. So it will be thinner, other than this piece that might stick out on the sides just a little bit. You can see how thin that is, those screws, but then the bottom portion, the light here, will taper down, and so it should be pretty small. Now, they also do make holsters for this particular light, because it's so popular, because it's actually made by Sig, and so you can get some holsters that this will fit into on the 365, which is really nice. So you don't need to send out, for a custom holster. You can find stuff right out of the gate. But then what makes this really cool is that you have this arm here that kind of follows the contour of the trigger guard, and you have a little place right here, so your hand will be here. So as you grip and squeeze that grip, you're turning on that light. So let's get the batteries in and try it out. Okay, I got both of the screws removed. I don't think you have to remove them completely here. It's a logo right there. And then I think I can just kind of pull this off just like that. Cool. And now you can see we have a place to put the batteries, positive and negative side down there. You can see we have some brass holes there, tapped holes to keep the screws in. Then the LED right there. So let's get these batteries in there. All right, so what I did is I started the screw up here to kind of clamp the two pieces down, and then I kind of actually put this one in further, and then I put it onto the bottom rail here, and as you can see, it's an incredibly good fit, as you would expect from the maker of the 365 and then the Foxtrot light itself. You can see here it just kind of fits into the mold right there. Great, and it obviously takes the full rail, so you're not going to have it sliding back and forth. It's flush with the front here, just right under the beveled edge of that the lower. You can see here that it's angled just a little bit, so you shouldn't get it snagged on anything. If you see on this side, same deal, fits the contours there and a little angle there, and fills out everything and follows that grip perfectly, which is great. Now, I will say what turns this on is not the motion of the lever, but you can see it fits right into the finger well there, or the finger groove. But it's this little rubberized button. So that is what turns the light on, just like that. So you can see, man, that looks great. And so unloaded and safe, but you're gonna have to take my word on it. Now, I want to show you here that it's really easy to turn this on, and I kind of have little chubby fingers, and so I was a little worried, and I am kind of a little worried that it doesn't fit in there perfectly, but it's no problem, as I'm staying safe here, to grab this and have that light on. Now, I will say that some people have complained because it's so involuntary to turn it on, that when you're shooting it and you're putting a good grip on things, that you are always turning the light on. And people are saying, like, hey, because it's not easy to quick detach and take off, I go to the range and my light is on and I don't need it to be on. Well, that's kind of the drawback of it, right? Is that there's probably a lot of times when you don't need the light to be on, and it's just going to be on because of the nature of how it's designed. But the point, I guess, is that you're going to want light when you need it, as opposed to, it's probably not a big deal if it's already well lit and you've got the light on. So I will tell you, it's a bright white. It's got a little bit of yellowing around it, but let's just try it in the dark and see what it looks like. All right, in the house, and have all the lights turned off here, and I just want to go ahead and illuminate, and you can see here, looks good. So for CQB, I think you're going to have plenty of illumination, you know, and it's actually a pretty wide pattern, and you know, the 100 lumens works phenomenal in here. Let's try it outside. All right, outside here, I've got some other lights on too, but I'm just going to go ahead and illuminate it now, and you can see, man, even outside, even in not completely pitch black conditions, you know, I can see things. And like I said, if you're out in the wilderness, this is going to make it a lot easier to identify what you've got. Super easy to install this little bad boy, and obviously it works great. Even though it doesn't put out a ton of light, it's just a little light so that you can make sure that you can identify everything that you need to and stay safe. So if you want to pick this little light up, I will put a link to it in the description below. Peter Von Panda, out.